सवारीचा घेतला पावला निया वाळवंटी तुझी सावली गळा भेट घेण्या भीमेची निघाली तुझ्या नाम घोषात इंद्रायणी भिडे आसमंती ध्वजा वैष्णवांची उभी पंढरी आज नानावली तुझे नाव ओठी तुझे रूप ध्यानी जीवाला तुझी आस गाला गली जरी बाप साऱ्या जगाचा परी तू आमालेकरांची विठू माऊली
The walking journey to Pandharpur ended at Saswad, and I continued the journey to Pandharpur with my friends to seek the blessings of Lord Vitthal. Pandharpur is one of the famous pilgrimage places in Maharashtra where many important religious activities are performed. Lord Vitthal of Pandharpur and tradition of Wari attracts millions of devotees during the month of Ashad and Kartik. This ritual of carrying the sandals of Santas was started by Haibat Rao. The tradition of Wari is more than 700 years old. To study this existence of Wari and Pandharpur, I further went into details by preparing a historic maps of Pandharpur. Pandharpur and Vitthal existed in myths. Earliest mention of Pandharpur is found in Skanda Purana and Padma Purana. Skanda Purana are the verses and dialogue between Lord Shiva and Parvati, whereas Padma Purana mentions the story of Pundalik, who was responsible for getting Vitthal in Pandharpur. From many literature sources referred, it is evident that Vitthal temple existed in 6th century, according to Purana. This town was also called as Dindirvana or Lohodanda Kshetra. On further explorations in maps of 28th century and actually visiting Pandharpur to experience the ambience, it led to the conclusion that the occupation of Pandharpur is temple based. Many important occupations have started growing around the vicinity of the temple, where many activities like stonecraft, making items needed for puja, bangle making, and many more gave the names to the lanes according to the occupation it consists. For example, Murtikar Lane, Bhande Galli, Kasar Galli, etc. Pandharpur was also studied by taking into consideration other pilgrimage places of India like Varanasi and Brajabhumi. This study led to the further conclusion that the arts and crafts of Varanasi and Braj still exist in the minds of people, and these cities are studied by many different authors, whereas the study regarding the arts and craft of Pandharpur is still missing in terms of architect's point of view and further development. Pandharpur is also famous for its Guru Shishya tradition of Warkari sector. In 13th century and even after that, people generally visited this town to meet various santats, seek their blessings, and learn the importance of Vitthal Bhakti. This tradition stopped after the era of santats. To conserve such diminishing tradition like the hidden material skills, performing various art forms found in Wari, and understanding mythology becomes the main USP of this project. As these three factors are never pursued by people and many are unaware of them, as their journey is limited up to visiting Vitthal temple. Hence, the proposal of Traditional Skill Development Institute, which will practice Gurukul system of education, seems important to conserve the tradition. As concluded from the study of religious towns of Varanasi and Brajabhumi, many small and large-scale Gurukuls are established in such places which teaches young generation importance of Vedas. Such enhancement of traditional activities makes the religious town sustained. From the primary case studies, different skills were identified by studying Gurukul system schools, by visiting Warkari Shikshan Sanstha of Alandi and other Ved Pathshalas around Pune. The Warkari Shikshan Sanstha helped in identifying the Warkari skills of performing arts like bhajan, kirtan and many more, and also gave an idea of timetable followed by the students. Whereas Veda Pathshala gave an idea about the spaces, like how they are designed according to the activities of students and teachers. This study also helped in understanding the timetable followed by the students and the built unbuilt ratio required in a Gurukul system of education. Both secondary and primary case studies, as well as the town study of Pandharpur, helped me to arrive at my design program and the proposal of Traditional Skill Development Institute, which will mainly concentrate on teaching of various traditional material skill, various Warkari performing art forms, and experiencing the mythology of Pandharpur town. The selected site for the project demonstration lies within the municipal boundary of Pandharpur town. The site is under the Pandharpur Nagar Parishad, which is purposely reserved for the activities related to Warkari and for Warkari education. The location of the site is exactly on the opposite side of river bank of Vitthal Rukmini temple. It is at a 20-minute walking distance from the temple. So as we see from the map, this is the location of the site. The area of this entire land is 65 acres and it is sandwiched by the two bridges. First is the old bridge and second is the new Chandrabhaga bridge, which further gets connected to the Pandharpur-Solapur highway. The growth of this entire town is mainly enhanced because of the Vitthal temple, which I have highlighted on this map. The entire development of the town is towards the Alandi Pandharpur road and towards the Pandharpur-Solapur highway. Hence there is a huge scope of development on this 65 acres of land. The 65 acres of land is well connected by different historic ghats of Pandharpur on the opposite bank of river. For example, the Krishnaji Ghat, Uddhava Ghat, Haridas Ghat, Kumbhar Ghat and Mahadwar Ghat. The site has direct access from the Mahadwar Ghat, which I have highlighted by this pathway. It further gets connected to a pedestrian road and further hits the site at this point. The entire parcel of land is zoned and divided into different parts. It is designed for various amenities like the Wari Thad, temporary accommodation for Warkaris, public parking, public and semi-public zone, and some part is reserved for services, which will consist of toilet facility. This part will be reserved as a public hospital and the area adjoining to the road will be reserved for the shopping center. I have chosen 5.65 acres out of the 65 acres of land for my development, and the area adjoining to the site is generally covered by lots of vegetation. So this is reserved as a green area. So some part of the site will be reserved for the ghat area, which will avoid the flooding of river Chandrabhaga during rainy season. To begin with the actual proposal, the essential requirements for this institute is the workshop areas, a performing art classroom for Warkari students, a vocational block which will consist of teaching learning of various musical instruments found in Wari, a temple area which should be accessible to all visitors, an administration block, a common gathering space, residences for students and gurus, a goshala for cows and an auditorium. After trying out many different possibilities of zoning, I finally arrived at my zoning strategy. The placement of the temple and the administration block is planned as these two spaces are the start and end point for any visitors. Hence, in order to express gratitude towards the old town and the historic temples around, a reference line is traced from the Pundalik temple. So this is the location of the Pundalik temple on the Google image. So I have traced a reference line, or we can call it as a view line, from Pundalik temple, which hits the site in these 2 points. As referred from many sources, it is also evident that Vitthal temple existed on a hillock. This slope is evident as we walk from the Vitthal temple towards the Mahadwar Ghat, which further approaches the Pundalik temple and various samadhis of the Santats, which are located on the riverbed. If I cut the section from the existing Vitthal temple to the Mahadwar Ghat, we can observe the slope towards the Pundalik temple. According to many different sources referred, the level of the feet of Vitthal idol matches the level of the Shikhara of the Pundalik temple. Hence, I have trace the reference line from this Pundalik temple towards our site. So this is the reference line which I have traced from the Pundalik temple. Hence the newly designed structure on this site will originate according to this reference line and the point of intersection of this line with another reference line. To trace the another reference point, the admin block is zoned at the entrance, and I have taken the admin block exactly parallel to this service road. So this admin block is generally zoned at the entrance. As I have mentioned earlier, the campus should support the mythology of Pandharpur. Now, when I trace a reference line from this center of the admin block and extend this line from this point, I get the exact location of the temple. Thus, I fix the placement of the temple block and the administration block with a small courtyard, and the remaining building blocks will be zoned along this pathway. So this pathway will form an interesting connecting spine to all the different building blocks. The myth of Jai and Vijay, who are painted on almost every house in Pandharpur, are the guardians of Lord Vitthal. It is believed that Vitthal stays in the house where Jai Vijay are painted. The strange thing found about these characters is that they are also painted on the walls of the mosque, which indicates the importance of these two characters. This quality of guardian is brought in the campus by within the admin block by creating a restricted entry for people. This restriction is mainly brought about by Tourist Information Center and the workshop enrollment space within the building. So I have provided the 10% of parking space for the visitor inside this campus as well as for the teachers. As during the peak period, the parking requirement will be fulfilled as I have provided 2.3 acres of parking in my master layout. So this is the parking space allocated for the teachers and the visitors. Taking a cue from the old streets of Pandharpur, linear low-rise workshop spaces are designed in the site, creating an organic layout of built form and landscape spaces. This creates individual space within each part of the layout. The workshop spaces and the display areas is zoned along this reference line and is basically designed according to the function. Whereas the position of the teacher, so this circle will be the space requirement needed for the teacher to work, and the position of students observing a teacher doing some craft. So this forms a module like a quarter circle. This module will remain same for all the workshop modules like stonecraft, bangle making, copper dressing, traditional building construction workshop, etc. Thus the quarter circle module form is repeated by introducing some open spaces and semi-open spaces for public workshop along this reference line on both the sides of the line. So the quarter circle module is repeated in this fashion, which forms a cluster of classrooms. So this 3 will be the classroom and this will be the open deck for shopping, and the classrooms will be combinedly attached to a staircase. An octagonal courtyard will be inserted in between the cluster of the classrooms, which form the space for public workshop. Some sector modules are transformed into display areas which also project outwards like a small shopping decks. Thus, these workshop spaces are compared with the Vitthal Bhakti as lots of hard work is involved in learning these activities. This arrangement gives a look of traditional bazaar to a street. The organic connecting pathway to all buildings finally gets merged into a node, which creates a big plaza with the block of performing arts where a person will get to know about the games, various performing art forms in Wari, and Gurukul system of education followed in Indian culture. Adjoining this block, a zone is created where other blocks like kitchen, dining, cafe, go down, and an auditorium is zoned. This creates an interesting open space in between, which I call it as a Naneshwar Plaza, wherein the building facade will depict the stories of Naneshwar Mauli and his Bhakti. The central tree is a node which connects the architectural spaces. It is also a gathering point and a sitting area. From the kitchen and dining area which is zoned near the Naneshwar Plaza, one comes to know about the Pangat system which is followed while having a lunch or a dinner. The internal spaces in the kitchen and dining area and the cafe area are so planned that the entry of the dining hall will be from the Naneshwar Plaza. The dining hall will be further connected to a counter. The counter will be connected to a kitchen area. The kitchen area will be finally connected to the loading and unloading platform. And from the dining area, one will have the direct access to toilet and washing area. So the zone which is formed by the kitchen dining area, cafe, go down and auditorium will be so planned that the service entry is from the 12-meter wide road which approaches the site. So if you see in the sketch, this is the kitchen and dining area. This will be the cafe block and this will be the go down. And this will be the par area where the tree will be placed. And the 12-meter wide road will give a direct service entry to all these three factors, combining with a loading and unloading platform. The auditorium area is provided to bring mythology of Pandharpur in front of people, where some short films, performances, etc. will be shown to people. This space will also be used during festivals like Ekadashi, etc. for gathering, performing dance forms, Kirtan, Bharud, etc. While walking through the site, you will also observe the two sculptures of Santa Nyaneshwar and Santa Namdev along this route. These sculptures will be constructed using various materials like stone, copper, etc. They will also bring about the craftsmanship and hard work involved in material skills. The performing block and the vocational block is separated by the Santa Tukaram Academic Plaza, and the two blocks are connected by a bridge on the upper floor. This separation is mainly to avoid overlaps of activities and to avoid the disturbances during regular classes. This plaza further connects to a par area where one to see the outdoor teaching learning activity which is followed by any traditional Gurukul. The connecting pathway further leads to the Kund and the temple area. The Kund serves as a refreshment area before entering the temple, which is also connected to a gathering space or meditation hall. This water body is also used as a passive cooling for the nearby buildings. The temple design is inspired from a Maratha style temple with a Garbhagruha, Antarada and Sabha Mandap for Kirtan performances. There is a 3-meter wide covered passage with RCC column which follows the Khana system in Maratha architecture. They are placed at 1.8 meter center to center, which comprises of an exhibition space during any event. The access to the temple, that is meeting the god, is designed in two ways. First, it is the direct access from the Kund area. The second entry is from the courtyards and semi-open spaces of vocational block which goes to the Mahadwar, which is the gateway to enter the river Chandrabhaga. So the person will bath in river, visit Tulsi Vrindavan Plaza and then enter the temple. The Ringan ground is attached to the vocational block. Also the building lines of the vocational block defines the open space in the campus. This ground will be used by the students for outdoor performing arts which needs lots of space. This ground can accommodate more than 800 people at a time while performing the Ringan. This will also avoid overcrowding in the temple area during any peak hours. Due to this zoning strategy, the academic spaces and the residential part got well segregated in terms of privacy and circulation. From the Ghat area, a connecting pathway connects the residences of students and teachers, where a person gets to see the simple lifestyle of Warkari people. This route finally gets merged with the meditation or gathering hall. The form of this structure is inspired from the crown of Lord Vitthal. Similar such qualities of God is brought in front by this structure. The quality of peacefulness is achieved by making this hall underground. This will also isolate a person from surrounding area. The quality of energetic is achieved by the strong circular geometry and the height of the structure. The quality of coolness is achieved as the temperature underground will provide a cool environment. The construction technology used for this particular structure is a ferrocement construction with required reinforcement. Thus, this cement gives a soft texture to the building, achieving the quality of softness. The structure is kept porous by making small openings and a big skylight with vertical louvers at the top. This will bring lots of natural light inside, which will give a blessed feeling to the users while meditating or praying. The construction material and technology used for the academic block and workshop spaces is the use of fly ash brick and the rat trap bond for insulation. Being a low-rise buildings, they are load-bearing structures with the window designs inspired by the Maratha architecture. And the ventilator openings will be precast. The outer projecting bricks are used as an elevational feature and the inner brick projections are converted to shelves for display of articles in case of workshops.
One.
The most interesting thing about this design is that person completes one pradakshina unknowingly and reaches again to the same point, that is the academic plaza, after meeting and experiencing the god. Thus, visitor gets the entire glimpse of Pandharpur town and Warkari tradition and its belief and understanding Lord Vithala Pandharpur in true sense, as this walking journey and finally meeting the god is not an easy task, but still it is very enjoyable because of all these performing arts observed in Wari. This campus design proposal will not only enhance the teaching learning of traditional activities but also conserve the culture of Pandharpur town and Wari. This designed campus will also be reused as a dharmashala for Warkari accommodation during Wari. At the end of my thesis journey, I express my sincere thanks to my thesis guide and thesis coordinator of College of Architecture, as without their constant support and encouragement, this design process wouldn't be successful. I also thank the faculty staff of College for their suggestions during the monthly thesis review. Last but not the least, I thank my brother Mukund, friends Vipul and Rutik for accompanying with me to Pandharpur, helping me in my survey, data gathering and for this beautiful video presentation.